Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, also known as Audra Quainva, and you are listening to another Why Run a Podcast episode. I almost said Y1. It's all your fault. Anyhow, yeah, no comment. Yeah, figures. But anyhow, so this is part 2 of the list of things that you should do when you are feeling some type of way. And yeah, I have on panel once again my best friend, my hubby, JustRob.
Lo, lo, lo.
Hey,
I
baby.
think I need an intro.
Chicken wing, chicken wing. Yes. I did say I was going to do that. Oh, dude, you know what? I actually have those on my decks. But I'm pretty sure somehow, some way it's copyrighted. Damn it. I'll just sing it.
Yes, sing it.
Yes, but let me see. Yeah, this would be what, 8 out of 8 now?
Is it?
Mhm. Cuz there's 8 things, but I only covered 4, so what, that would be 8 out of 8 for, okay. It don't really matter. I don't know why I was fixated on it. But in the previous episode, I'll drop a link so you guys can go ahead and check it out, but I did go over a list that I found on Twitter that it suggests you do certain things to a certain way that you're feeling. And we covered when you are tired, when you are sad, when you are stressed, and when you're angry. Okay? And just to give Rob a heads up of the rest of the list, let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and name the last 4, which is when you're feeling burnt out, when you're feeling lost, when you are overthinking, and when you are anxious. Okay, so we'll just let that simmer in Rob's brain.
I already forgot it.
Oh, no. Okay, once again. And don't worry, if you guys want to see this tweet for yourself, I will go ahead and drop a link so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Maybe I should do that for you right now, because you're going to be like, what the hell?
Please do.
Okay.
Because I am overthinking lately.
Well,
So-
you're in luck, because that's on the list.
Please tell me how to fix it.
Yes. Okay, so those of you guys that are listening, 1 is burnt out. The second one is feeling lost. The third one is overthinking. And the fourth one, the last one, is feeling anxious. Okay.
Yep.
So, let's get into it. First of all, did you listen to part 1? Did you get a chance to?
I had a chance, but no.
What do you mean
Kinda
you had a chance, but you didn't take the chance?
No. Well, I guess, okay, technically I didn't have a chance.
Okay.
I would have had to not spend time with family and not talk to you. So I was not going to do that.
It's fine. Well, okay, so we did cover we covered being or feeling tired, sad, stressed, angry. And yeah, so it says that when you're tired, you take a nap. And when you're feeling sad, you listen to music. When you're feeling stressed, you take a walk. And when you're feeling angry, you exercise. I went over those 3 in a previous episode, and you know me, I like to were you saying something?
No.
Oh, okay. It must be my headphones in. My bad. But I did say, like, okay, what kind of tired are you to where you feel like you need to take a nap? You know, because for me, when something's said to me, I break it apart. I just break it apart, and I'm just like, why though? Like, cause I dragged Thanksgiving as far as like eating turkey, because they say that when you eat turkey, you get tired. So it's like, okay, are you tired because you ate turkey? You know what I'm saying? Taking a nap is not what I suggest. But I did go into like, yo, is being stressed out making you tired? Or did you do some kind of physical activity? It could be your job, whatever. For me, it's kind of like, sometimes you probably shouldn't take a nap, because then your sleep schedule, like, it'll be all fucked up. So what I suggested was, yo, if you are tired from being stressed out, maybe you should tackle the things that's stressing you out. The next thing on the list was sadness, and then I said, when they say when you're sad, listen to music. The thing that I brought up was, sometimes music, it keeps you in the funk. Like, it keeps you depressed, depending on uh what your favorite genre of music is. Um Sometimes people, when they're sad, they listen to sad songs instead of listening to something that's upbeat. So I kind of dabbled in that a little bit. And then the next one is, when you're stressed, go for a walk, which I agreed on. But I also went into that when I was in a fucked up relationship. Going for a walk, I felt like I couldn't do for myself, even though, one, it was good for me, and second, yes, it does help with stress. But I felt like, even when I went for a walk just to, let's say, lower my blood sugar without taking a sugar pill, I still went back to the same bullshit life, right? So it didn't necessarily work out for me in that way, but I guess it just depends on the kind of stress that you have, that a walk would help. Maybe to think things over, or to come to a decision, or whatever. And then the last thing we went over was, when you're angry, you should exercise. Which, again, I agreed on that. Because, when you're, let's say, for instance, you go to the gym, you're more focused on your form. You're more focused on how many reps you're doing. Like, you're counting. You're focusing on not falling and tripping on a treadmill going 30 miles per hour. So your mind is occupied with the reps and the time and things like that. So anything you want to say, like a response?
What does it mean when you use music or cleaning for all of these things? When I'm tired, I don't take a nap. I listen to music, or I start cleaning. When I'm sad, I listen to music, different types of music. I guess it does kind of keep me in the sad zone for a little bit, but then I'm like, that's even worse than what I'm going through. What am I sad about? So it gets me out of that sadness, I guess. I'm like, oh, what I'm going through is not that bad. When I was stressed out, I mean, what do I do when I was stressed out? Listen to music, write, and clean. When I'm angry, yes, I do agree with the exercising. Oh my god, I can't speak today. Exercising does, putting the anger somewhere productive is what helps. And so far, that's another thing. I don't feel like I get angry enough. So I don't exercise enough. But when I was doing all that stuff, I was lifting, and the anger does make you lift heavier. For me, that's what it did. It did make me like super focused on not only the weight, but the reps and the resting time. It was like I was angry at myself, so I wouldn't give myself enough resting time. But I do agree with that one. Did you want to go into the next ones, or you still want to talk about these?
Well, Before we go on, I want to say, I guess, in the response of what you said, because it's almost like you're trying to attack, or not attack, excuse me. You're trying to find one solution to all of these things at once.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there that don't work like that. Like, they have to compartmentalize their day to, I guess, what they're feeling. So
Yeah.
for me, being tired, listening to music is not gonna, it's not gonna help me being tired. It's not gonna really wake me up unless it was like I was listening to like Lil Jon or something. You know what I'm saying? But like, I guess I would fall into it. But when I'm feeling sad, yeah, of course, listen to music, or just whatever. Stressed out, I feel like my mind doesn't revert to music. I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
people feel the same way. When I'm angry, my mind doesn't revert to music. Not anymore, at least, because like I said, I did lose the interest of music years ago. And due to fucked up situations, right? But I'm just saying that there are some people that have to, it wouldn't work for them to be like, oh yeah, music's gonna take care of everything, or walking's gonna take care of everything. Exercise is gonna take care of everything. Even though, yes, it does. If you get broken up with, or let's say you got cheated on, because maybe, whatever reason you got cheated on, right? So, a lot of people, when they are sad, stressed, angry, they would revert to exercise, because let's just say that the person that got broken up with, let's say they were on the chunkier side. Maybe they were a little overweight. You know what I'm saying? So in their mind, they might be thinking, I'm just saying this as an example, because I have seen weight loss videos, or like shorts and reels of girls being like, oh, he cheated on me for this many years, and it shows these girls, kind of heavy, and they turn it around and they're just like, oh, but I'll show him what he's missing out on now. And then they do like a whole, and then it shows them exercising, eating right, things like that. But most importantly, the working out part. So of course, at the end of the reel, they're like all skinny Barbie now. So it's almost like, yes, they did turn their sadness, their stressing, their anger, and they turn that into exercise, and they look great now. But for some people, it don't work, or it don't happen for them like that, because first of all, we don't know what traumas they're going, that what they've went through, how severe it is, and just how deep in the shit they feel that they are, because some people, like, they can't even get out of bed in the morning. So, these things, I think, well, this list, I think, is a good, simple thing for people to look at, and just different things for them to try. And that's why we're discussing it, like, okay, here's a thing, that you can look at, but feel free to organize it in a way that you feel will work for you and your lifestyle. That's all what this is. Is there anything that you want to add?
As far as the first four, you know, I should probably start looking into using other avenues instead of just music. But music for me works.
Mm-hmm.
I do see what you're saying, and I'm not saying like everybody should revert back to music, because it doesn't work that way for everyone. I understand that.
That's what pains me. It's like, I used to be just like you. Like, everything
Oh.
was music. I would wait. I would sleep to music.
Mm-hmm.
I would wake up to music. Getting dressed and taking a shower, like, I would blow my speakers. Like, everything was music before my traumatizing past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I just known that that was something that I could not share with him. And yeah, it's like he had his style of music or doing things, because this isn't just about music, but I'm talking about this in a sense that yeah, music was there for me in every single mood that I was feeling. It's not just me being happy. It was there for me when I was sad, when I was stressed, when I was angry, when I was just all those other things, right? Even listening to music in sex, it was just there. And for me, it's like it seems like it's so far away. That's why I admire you that you're able, like, music wasn't taken from you. And I'm glad that it wasn't. But for me, it's like I'm struggling to find it because I feel like there's just, it's almost like I feel stunted. It's like if I were to listen to music, I would not be listening to anything new. I would be listening to the old shit. And I'm comfortable there. I guess that's why I don't want to venture out. And second, music today sucks. And that's one of the things that would stop me. But most of all, I'm comfortable with the old school hip hop, the underground gangster rap, the 90s R&B. Like I feel comfortable there. It sounds good. It's timeless to me. But for you, it's like you're able to go on about your day just listening to music, all types of music. And I always felt that if you listen to all genres of music, something ain't right with you. I still feel that way to some extent, but I have you showing me that okay, I'm wrong.
Are you really though?
But we're not normal. So I have debates with myself. But um and that's why when I look at you and I look at this list and it's like yes, music all the way down for you on this list. And I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I just think that you are a very simple in the moment type of person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna take music away from you. If you listening to music when you're anxious or overthinking, feeling lost, being burnt out, if music shakes you up and gets you out of that funk, by all means, damn this list. You know what I'm saying? Cause
Mm-hmm.
and like the other episodes before, you said that I feel good about this because I feel like I do all of those things already. I feel like you do these things already. I really do. Well,
Right.
except the napping and, you already walk around your house. Like, you already do these things. Even when I tell you to take a nap, you don't take a nap. Like, you push through it and then you know, you say that you sleep okay. So it's kind of like, okay, well, then you're doing everything that you need to do. Like you're already doing all of these things. But like for myself, I am a compartmentalized kind of person. Like I gotta have everything kind of like in order. I cannot live in the day. I have to plan out my days. I have to know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the week and next week. I need to know where I'm going in the next couple months. And I think I've been that way because being an artist, I was always in art shows. So it was always like, okay, I got to paint this many things and have this much inventory by the end of this week. And if I never did make my quota, my own personal quota, it's not something that was told that I had to do. I just think I had a lot of discipline. But I think because I had that mindset since I was a kid, like I am now like that. Like and I get anxiety when things are like, yo, I'm gonna get up and it was like when me and you were sleeping together, right? And like you just got up and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go. And then I freaked out and I was like, wait, like, where are you going? Because that is where that comes from. My parents doing that to me when I was a kid. I would wake up and my parents were gone. And we didn't have cell phones back then. I was a child. So there was no way. And they never left a note. They never had a babysitter for me. Like, nothing. And so it gotten so bad that I would wait for them sitting outside on the curb waiting for my parents to come home into the night. And my best friend's dad used to watch me from his kitchen window, and then he would go out there and come get me, and he's like, come on, like, you can wait for your parents in the house, in our house. And that's crazy, and let me tell you guys, in further episodes we are going to be talking about, do you want to tell them about that, the whole trafficking thing? Like, because I could have been taken as a kid. I probably still be missing right now. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of kids that are still missing,
But
as far as the trafficking, I think, well, that movie, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it, is called The Sound of Freedom. I do want to watch it. I do want to do research on it. Not because I'm not familiar with the topic. It covers child trafficking. And, of course, I've known about it for a long time. Having family members in other countries, I've heard about how it works there. And it sucks everywhere, right? It's not, nobody's, it's a sad thing. And yes, we should do something about it. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was common. I think I did a little bit of research before, and I found that I think it was one out of five families knew or had someone that had either been kidnapped or was missing, and that is a freaking staggering number. 1 out of 5. If you know 10 people, there's 2 people in that family or 2 families in that group that either have somebody missing or they lost somebody because they were abducted. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was common back then. A lot of I guess it was because, we didn't have ways to communicate. That's one of them. 2, kids were out playing more, I guess, right? Now, like I said, I need to watch the movie. I don't know how much effort I want to put into all that. I do want to cover it, but like I said, I do need to do some research on it,
Mm-hmm.
which I know is going to take a lot of energy. Let's just put it that way. Because I do feel things, and I don't want to... See, I was going to say I don't want to feel anything when it comes to this, but I should, right? I should care enough to feel. So, in order for me to do the research, I have to expose myself to certain feelings that I don't want to experience, but I guess I need to. So, I'm still on the fence about this topic. Like I said, it isn't something new. The only difference is that with this movie, it's putting the spotlight on it.
Yeah,
that
this.
was too deep of an explanation.
Yeah, I know it can get pretty deep, and I know talking about it can be dangerous because it's almost like, in some ways, we I'll put it in this way: there are people that do cover it, right? Whether you're a news reporter, an investigator, or whatever, because they speak up about these things or against these things, they end up themselves being targets. So for us talking about it, I could definitely see people that don't like us accusing us of being the famous word that they like to throw around, the P word, right? And it's like, no, what we're doing is we're trying to bring awareness. But of course, we're not going to get into it today, but it is a upcoming topic for another Why Run episode in the future. We're also going to be covering like different scams, because we were talking about that earlier. um you know, that older people or elderly people, they are being targets. I did talk to Rob about, because I'm a gig worker, I deliver food. I'm in the food delivery business for Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. There are some scams that are going around that are pretty much being like surfaced now, like, because there's a lot of people that have been victim to it. So we're going to be talking about those things in the future, but we just wanted to give you guys a little like heads up. But I know I kind of took it there by saying like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, this is what happened and this is what could have happened to me. Like, I probably wouldn't even be here sitting talking to you guys, talking to Rob. But I guess we'll take it back to the list of yeah. And I'm sorry, babe, that I took it there. But what I'm saying is, yeah, like it's all of these things that I think that people can take for themselves, kind of make it their own, to whatever feeling, the most feelings that they feel throughout their day, and just kind of, move things around and try it for themselves. Okay. So, let's get on with the rest of the list. So, the next one on the list would be, of course, number 5. In the previous episode, we did 1 to 4. This is 5. And they suggest that when you are burnt out, you should read. Thoughts, babe?
Well, what does burnt out mean? Because to me, burnt out kind of sounds like tired. Burnt out in what way?
Yeah, when I say, or when I hear burnt out, I'm thinking like physically physically or like physical stress. Like, you just can't, like, you're just burnt out, like you're tired, you want to rest, you want to lay down and possibly take a nap, like you're so like you're done for the day. Like, that's how severe I'm taking it. But
Yeah,
and I'm not going to want to read.
exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, to me, when I'm burnt out, quote unquote, I would rather go to sleep.
Mhm.
If I'm tired, then maybe I would read. It depends on what kind of tired I am too, because, or I guess exhaustion, right? I feel for me it's more, even if it's not a physical exhaustion, it might be an emotional, or what is it? Emotional, physical, spiritual, mental.
Mhm.
For me, I get mentally burnt out easily.
Oh,
Not
that's
easily, but
true.
like, huh?
No, I'm saying that that's true. Like, you're talking about like, are you taking it back to the 3 or the 4 wins? Right? Because remember we
Um,
talked about that little meme.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, that
There's
I didn't think about that. Yeah, but go on.
I don't know. For me, I feel like, and when I say emotional, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're an emotional guy," whatever. Okay. Yes, I am very much in tune with my emotions, and I don't hide them. I don't speak on them all the time because I internalize them. So that kind of leads me into mental exhaustion. When I'm burnt out mentally, then that's when I'm like, okay, I need something to take my mind off of whatever I'm dealing with, whether it's my stuff or other people's stuff. Me trying to come up with a solution for other people burns me out. So what I do, I mean, yes, I want to go into books way more than I do actually. Even though I have all these books that I could read, um, I think I go more to like documentaries. So I
Mm.
don't necessarily escape reality because I'm still learning something. I go into like documentaries and crime. What is it? The not crime watch, like the crime shows.
Mm-hmm.
How to catch a predator and stuff like that. Like it's not. I'm not going into like some kind of anime show or something that I don't have to think. I'm still thinking, but it's a different kind of thought process. I'm learning more than I'm just like trying to come up with solutions myself. As far as like the reading and stuff, I think I would do that more if I'm tired versus being burnt out. I think if I'm burnt out, I just really don't want to think anymore. So if I'm tired, I will go to books.
Man, going to books would make me tired and sleepy. It does a complete opposite for me.
And it would make you feel lost, which is the next one.
Well, let me say, the only thing that again we're speaking on on these things to give you guys ideas, right? Different perspective. If you are burnt out and you're so curious, because I think people are gonna listen more to the meme than listen to somebody's opinion, right? But just hear us out. I think that if you are burnt out, the closest thing that I could see happening with you reading while you're burnt out is if you draw yourself a bath, light some candles, put on some slow jams or something, and pull out a book and read. Like, if you're feeling burnt out, if I were to excuse, the burnt, that if you're burnt out, you read, that would probably be like the closest thing that I think you can do if you're feeling burnt out. Like, yo, okay, if you really want to, if you're so, if you have your heart set on that, if you feel burnt out, you read, yeah, draw a bubble bath, get you some bath bombs from Lush, okay, and light some candles, and yeah, like listen to some jams and read. Okay, there
But
you have it.
but then you're gonna get your book wet, and then that's gonna stress you out more.
Oh my god,
And
that's
then
why
if your
us.
book gets wet, you might get sad. And then if you get sad or you might get angry, then see, no.
Right? And yeah, fuck
Hold
having a
on.
tablet. You're gonna electrocute yourself if you accidentally drop it. But I was gonna say, yo, if you get your book wet, that's why us bitches have a hair blow dryer. But then the bad part about that though too is that you might actually burn the pages, start a whole new fire, and then it might just blow out all your candles. And then what are you gonna do? There
What
goes
if
your
your book catches
then.
on fire from the candles, and then you just drop it in the water? See, this is stressful.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
so
Yeah, and then you blow up your whole bathroom because you didn't know what the chemicals that you were soaking in that was in your bath bomb. Your whole bathroom is gonna blow the fuck up because there was some type of chemical in the bath bomb.
see, now I'm burnt out. I need to take a nap. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think we're helping anymore.
I'll be serious.
We're making shit worse. Oh my god. Okay, next thing on the list, number 6. When you are feeling lost, pray.
Yes, I do. I do agree with that one.
Do you want to break it down for people that okay, I don't want to say nobody knows how, but some people may feel so lost that they don't know how or remember how to pray. And again, whatever background you come from, in my culture, there is a certain way that you should pray. Okay, I'm not saying that it's like this for everybody, everybody's beliefs, but in my belief, there is a certain way that you should pray. But this is just a discussion. So if you are feeling lost and you just feel like, like myself, sometimes I feel like I'm unworthy, like I haven't, like I didn't deserve, or I don't
Mhm.
deserve to pray or ask for things or even ask for help or just to talk things out. So you want to, I want to say, give an idea, or you have anything to.
But I could definitely speak to feeling lost and not knowing how to pray, not knowing how to approach it, because I was there a few years ago. Honestly, I need to look back and see how long it was, but um, many years, not that many. Okay, years ago, I was completely lost, and I had just came out of a 3 month depression where every single day for 3 months I was depressed. I would wake up and be like, man, this again. And I didn't see a way out of that. I was just stuck. Like I said, for 3 months, that's a long time to be depressed. And I'm not talking like suicidal, but those thoughts did cross my mind. Like, how do I end this? How do I stop this? And at some point, I remember that somebody gifted me a book called Jesus Calling. And again, I'm not a religious person, so I don't want to label myself a Christian or a Catholic or anything, right? And to me, it was just a book. To me, it was just like any other book. So when I picked it up and I went to the page that pertained to that date, I was like, okay. And I read it, and it said, I remember it saying, be thankful, be grateful. If you don't, if you look around and you don't see anything to be thankful or grateful for, just say thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Or thank you. Just say thank you. And I did that. I did look around and I was like, what am I thankful for? I have nothing. I feel like I have nothing. I'm lost. But I was like, thank you. And I kept it going the next day and then the next day, and that built momentum. And then because I started feeling better, uh, I was like, okay, let me give this a chance. Let me read into the next day. And I just kept that going. And then it opened up the doors for a lot of other things, a lot of other opportunities and ways of thinking and ways to approach life, because life isn't easy. And I'm not saying that because I started reading, you know, the Bible and these holy books and stuff, or passages that led me to God and finding spirituality. I'm not saying that life just automatically was rainbows and unicorns. It wasn't. It's still hard. If anything, sometimes it gets harder because of that, because it puts this added pressure. But bringing it back to how to pray, just speak, just talk to source, whatever you want to name it, whether it's energy or the universe or source or God or whatever you want to label it as. Just talk to him like you would a friend. Sometimes it's easier, right? And it's easier to talk to a stranger. So talk to him like you would to a stranger, because, well, I was gonna get into a whole different thing. Never mind. Um,
No, what?
no, because I was gonna say, well, he knows everything about you. He knows how you're feeling. He knows your thoughts before you even think them. So he knows you. He's not a stranger. But so, like I said, sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger because you're never gonna see them again, and you don't really care if they judge you. So when you start praying, and I don't know, I don't necessarily want to call it praying, because to me, it's you're having a conversation with a friend. That's how I see it. So when I say I'm gonna go pray, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm talking to a friend. I'm talking to my best friend. I'm talking to someone that when I talk to him, I feel better. I don't feel drained like I do with other people. And I'm not saying that I get the answers to all my questions, because, or the, you know, miracles happen and I get everything that I petition for, because honestly, I don't even ask for anything when I pray. I just I'm grateful for the things that I have and the people that I have, and I ask for people who I don't have or who I don't even know. That's what I ask for them to be okay, for the world, just a general prayer. And when I say prayer, I don't do it a specific way. I'm just talking to a friend. So start with that. Start talking to him like you're just talking to a friend. Read a book. Read like I said, Jesus Calling, I think, has passages from the Bible. So it's the closest thing. If you don't know how to read the Bible or you don't have a Bible to read, it would be the easiest and closest thing to it, I guess. Go out and find it. It's like $5. I'm sure you can find it cheaper than that. But it's just one of those things that you have to get into a rhythm of doing. And it is helpful. You're going to feel better. I can almost promise you that.
May I say that I think another thing that helps with that also is be persistent. What do you think?
Yes, definitely. Because like I said in the beginning, I didn't see a way out. I didn't pick out that book thinking this is going to save me. And then the first day that I did it, I remember writing down like, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to do it. And then when it said, I guess it took from what it said, be thankful. A lot of people get stuck looking at their life and they're like, well, I don't have anything. Well, start with the small stuff. You'll realize that you do have a lot of things that, you should be grateful for. The little things, right? Quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
So it is about building momentum. It is about being persistent and I mean, it's going to pay off. It will pay off. Okay, well.
I was just going to say that if you can keep up the stress, you should keep up the prayer. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the energy that you put into the stress. It's like put that energy into a prayer. And if you guys don't want to identify that or look at it as a prayer, because again, there's some people that don't believe in God, they're comfortable being atheists or whatever, but it's almost like you're manifesting. So if you're going to keep up the stress, or in other words, manifesting the stress, keeping up the stress, then you should revert that into prayer or into, something more positive. And I don't want to say, well, you're either damned if you do or don't. It's like, okay, well then what's the difference? It's like you're still manifesting either way, whether it's negative or positive. So it's like, I would say try to revert that a different way. But the next one on the list, number 7, and I want to kind of combine this, and I think we did talk about it on another episode, but the next one on the list is overthinking. When you are overthinking, you should write. Now, the previous one was if you feel lost, you pray. For what we do, and yes, we do kind of do things differently, but going back to if you do not know how to pray or to just speak, right? Because some people, I think, even if they speak out loud, even if they have nothing or no one in mind to speak to, they're still afraid to speak because it's almost like they're confessing bad shit that they've done, right? So for them to speak on it, even when no one is around, it still freaks them out, right? Like it scares them. They're scaring themselves. So I want to combine feeling lost, you pray, overthinking, you write. So what I want to combine is that, okay, if you do not know how to pray, the way that I start journaling, sometimes if you're striving to become a writer, right, you don't know what to write because you feel like you don't have creativity and sometimes adulting, your job, your family, whatever, it kind of takes and eats away at your creativity. So for me, sometimes an empty journal, an empty notebook scares the fuck out of me, because the first couple pages, you feel like it kind of sets up your journal, the rest of your journal, and what you think it should look like, what should be in it. And that's no different than being an artist, because when an artist receives a new sketchbook, it scares us to death the first page. Like, what do we sketch? Is it gonna be a certain style? Is it gonna be just every single page gonna be painted one color, like a certain color? So that's why if you ever look at my sketchbooks, I skip to the fourth page. That way I don't feel intimidated. And it's kind of like that with the journal. So to get you guys started, and I've said this in a cast before, write down what you're thankful for. That's a start. And keep going. Whether it's 2 things that you're thankful for that day, it could be 4 things that you're thankful for that day, or just go batshit crazy and write down all your gratitudes of that day or of that week. So you kind of, in some I believe in some way that is like praying, but you're journaling it, like you're writing it down, and you're expressing not just what you're grateful for, but you're actually documenting your mood. You know what I'm saying? Something that I used to do years ago was I used to pray in my book. I used to be like, I pray that this, and this. I pray this, and this. And what another way to help you better understand yourself, if you're feeling lost, right? Because we're talking about feeling lost, you pray, overthinking, you write. So for me, I will always write, I pray that this, and this, and this happens because I am worried. I am scared. If this happens, I plan to do this. If that does not work, I plan to do this. So it's almost like you're turning a worry into something that is going to help you out. And sometimes we need to see it on paper as a reminder. So I'm not saying that you guys have to write your prayers or anything, but I just thought I would give you guys a head start in that if you are an overthinker like ourselves, you can take out, I don't care if it's a pocket journal. I don't care how small it is. It could just be a word. It could just be a word. And when I read articles, there are big words I do not understand. I write them down, and it's like, okay, I gotta look up this word later in a dictionary. And then, reading it, I can read it, but sometimes it doesn't stick. I'm one of those people that I have to write it down, the entire description, for me to understand. And sometimes there's another word in the description that I don't understand, so I have to write that word down. But you're growing at that point. Like your mind is focused on, not just getting better, but to better understand what confuses you, so that you have a better understanding of something, of a mood that you may be feeling, and you're like, holy shit, like that's a part of my attitude. Like, I really do feel this way. It's just little things like that to get you writing. And I was talking with Rob that I am going to be coming out with a website where I'm gonna have writing prompts, because I love writing. I write so much, and I think I could have a few fun activities for you guys to do. But it's fun, but you're not just learning yourself, but I'm giving you guys more positive things to focus on that I think people should include in their day. So, do you want to add anything to overthinking you write?
Well, yes, I do it all the time. The end. No, except for yesterday. I didn't have time yesterday to do it, and I felt weird. I feel, oh my god, I can't speak today. I felt weird not being able to write. I did record it. I did an audio recording of it. That's another thing. That's a different way, I guess, of journaling for me. I started off with audio. Um, when I do write, you know what? I didn't even think about that, but I don't write what I'm thankful for. Usually, I write about either the previous day or the day as it's going. And I mean, that's another way of doing it, right? Writing down what you're thankful for and what you're trying to manifest. I didn't even think about it that way, and somehow I still end up with like 3 or 4 pages every day that I write in my journal and notes. Um, when you said a pocket journal, I want one. I don't know where to find it, but I did get a miniature composition book, and that's what I carry around sometimes to write things down. Like if I get an idea, I'll write it down. Even if it's a topic show, like a topic idea, I'll write it down in there. A to-do list. Start off small. You don't have to write a book. We're not saying write write a memoir, write a book about how you feel every single day, but not only would it help you express your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions of the day, but you can always go back to it. And I know that you said that you burn your journals. I never really thought about doing that. Um, for me, I wouldn't do that because I want to go back and read my mindset, because we do evolve, we grow. Right now we feel like, for me, when I told you that I started writing and what I was grateful for, I guess, at that time when I just came out of my depression, I was feeling like there was nothing going right. There was never gonna be anything going right for me. I felt stuck. I felt like this is it. This is the rest of my life. So because of where I am now, I can always go back and read that, and not only, I guess, put myself back in there and be like, damn, when I thought that there was no coming out of this, I had no idea what it was going to turn into. So it gives me hope, right? And it gives me motivation to keep going, because obviously I don't feel that anymore. I've grown from that, and so it keeps me, I guess, grounded too, in a way. So that's the only reason why I don't get rid of my journals, and I don't, I know that there's people like you that burn them. I know that there's people that pass them down to people. Like if I was writing and I have a cousin that I know is going through that, I could pass them down to them. I mean, that's something that you guys can do too. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like, and this is just probably me being cocky, but I feel like when I'm gone, when I'm dead, someone's gonna read these books or these journals and be like, wow, this guy was crazy. This was a psychopath. But yes, I do agree. When you are overthinking, writing your thoughts down will help you.
Yes.
Keep going deep into these conversations. I know we're running out of time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Okay, last thing, very very quickly. When you are anxious, you meditate.
Yes. Done. The end. No. I started meditating this year, and it wasn't even for myself. It was because I felt like it would help me with my spiritual work. And like I said, I think I said it before, I didn't even know how to approach it. I didn't even think it was going to be possible for me to shut my brain down enough to do it. I had no idea how to do it. I keep seeing these videos where they show you playing this what I call elevator music, lighting candles and setting out like crystals and all that stuff. I didn't do any of that. I
Like
just,
the chanting.
yeah, the
Mhm.
chanting and the om and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I just closed my door, closed my eyes, and I went there, and it helped. It took my anxiety away. Because for me, and I think it's kind of weird that I'm thinking about this now, but for me, anxiety, it doesn't come from things that I want to do for myself or things that I feel like I should be doing for myself. My anxiety comes from trying to help people, wanting to help people and not knowing how to do it.
Or feeling
So
other
that's where,
people's energy.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's where I get anxious. So meditating for me is or what I think of meditation, I feel like that's where you go to cleanse. That's where you go to, as I call it, burn all the negativity away. That's what meditation to me is, and yes, I do believe that it helps not only for anxiety, for depression, for when you're feeling exhausted from being overwhelmed by emotions or whatever it is that you're going through. Meditation helps for a lot of things, but anxiety is one of those things that it does tremendous work for. It helps a lot.
Yes.
It sounds like you're meditating now.
Oh my gosh. It's yeah, my meditations normally when I do them by myself, I it lasts a very long time. Um my prayers last a really long time. And as I said before, in my belief, in my culture, you're supposed to pray a certain way. So, of course, with that alone, my prayers are long, my meditations are long. You're supposed to focus on every little thing that comes into your meditation or your visions, your prayers. It just keeps branching out like roots of a tree, branches of a tree. Um, it's really not supposed to end, you know. And last thing that I want to say is when you are a person of medicine, if you are a person of spirituality, you should not stop these things. You should not. This is something that you're supposed to do all day, day and night, every single day, no days off. Um, that's the initial work that we should be doing, you know. But of course, spirituality. In most spiritual work, we all know that money is dirty, but we need money to survive, and that's why we get pulled away. And that's why I think people make lists like these. And again, I'll give you guys a link where you guys can see the tweet for yourself and apply it to your life. But these are just things that can help, to give you guys an idea of what you guys can do. You guys can switch it up, add things, take things away, whatever. But we do include spirituality, because we are spiritual beings. And for us, we're just speaking on what works for us while giving you guys another perspective. So I'm gonna end it with that. And of course, we're going to have many more discussions of these things in further episodes forever. Okay. As long as the Y Run is here, we're going to be talking about all types of shit. So if you guys, it doesn't matter what background you come from, your belief, nothing. Like, these are just discussions to help us get through uh, modern life, I guess. So, thank you, babe, for again joining me on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank you for
always.
being patient. I don't know what's going on with my brain today, but
Nah, you're working. That's just what it is. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't question. Just do it. Just say it. Yes. And yeah, we'll be going live in a few hours, and we hope you guys will tune in for that on YouTube and Twitch. You guys can check us out at twitch.tv/Miss DJ Hoodie or youtube.com/Miss DJ Hoodie. And yeah, follow me on Twitter. Same thing, Miss DJ Hoodie. And yeah, we'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And yeah, peace.
Rulers rule.